Guess what arrived? The UV DTF we ordered last week. So this is part 2 of a 2-part YouTube video about how to take your own designs and make them into UV DTF for the coolest custom tumblers and mugs this holiday season. So these make amazing gifts and they're so easy to do. I'm doing one where I took my daughter's artwork and turned it into UV DTF. And now we're gonna put it on a couple tumblers. I'm gonna show you how it works in practice. If you missed part 1, you should definitely go back and watch it, because in part 1, we talked about how to digitize your design, how to make sure it's the right resolution, how to make sure it's the right size, and how to make sure it's gonna work for UV DTF. We also talked about just making your own designs in general and a couple of different ways you could do that. So if you missed that video, stop this one right now. Go watch it. I'm gonna give you like a brief recap of last week, but you're gonna wanna see the whole thing, and it's pretty short. So go watch that and then come back and watch this one, because we're gonna finish this project today. Okay, so before we dive right in and unveil this, let me give you a brief overview of what we talked about last week. So I'm interrupting this programming for a special message from our sponsor, which is me, from last week. So here's a quick recap of last week, and then we'll jump right back in. We are going to turn one of my kids' artwork into a UV DTF tumbler. In this 2-part video series, we're gonna go through the whole process of how to digitize your art. We're gonna talk about how to upload it to dtfprinter.com. And then finally, we're gonna make a tumbler using my kids' artwork. So we're gonna be turning this into a UV DTF transfer that I can put on a mug and keep forever, because how cute is that? Okay, so the first thing you're going to wanna do if you're taking a physical piece of artwork and wanting to turn it into a file is get your phone or another camera and take an overhead picture of your art, trying to make sure it's as flat as possible before you take the picture. So I'm gonna show you what my picture looks like. I'll put it up on the screen right here, actually. Okay, so we are on the Design Bundle site. I'm gonna airdrop the photo I just took of my daughter's cat picture to my Mac here. There she is, Miss America. Okay, so we are gonna take it and rotate it. And now we're gonna hit remove background right here. Okay, so it did a great job. So we're gonna go ahead and download it. Then we can pop over to dtfprinter.com. I'm going to go ahead and check out and order this, and it will be at my house in just a couple days. And then we will film part 2 of this video, and I'll show you how you can make a tumbler with this cute art. Okay, I hope you loved that. That was last week's me telling you a little bit about what we did to make this design into UV DTF. So let's unveil it and let me show you what it looks like. So if you're unfamiliar with UV DTF, it comes in a gang sheet. That's what these rolls are called. This is a pretty small gang sheet because we only got a couple copies of our design. But you can see that it comes on this like clear plasticky film, the transfer sheet, and the design is printed on one side, so here's our design. And then on the other side, it's just blank. Like it's got our design, but there's no color on the back. So that's actually a common question we get is the color gonna be printed on both sides? And the answer is no. So some people don't like that UV DTF is a bit raised. It has like a little bit of a texture to it. I'll explain that in a minute. And so they wanna put the design like on the inside of a cup. And you couldn't really do it that way, it wouldn't work. Because it's not printed on the back. So that wouldn't work out. Okay, so we've got our design cut out. Let's put the rest of these away for now. I am gonna use this tumbler cradle. You can buy these on Amazon. This one is White Moon brand and it's the wood one. But they make a lot of foam ones and like plastic ones that are a little less expensive. I've actually had trouble finding this one lately. So a tumbler cradle is not required for using UV DTF, but I just like it because it keeps my tumbler nice and still and flat when I'm putting my design on. So here is the tumbler we're gonna use today. This is just the Libby glass can cup. This one is not sublimation friendly. That's another question we get about UV DTF a lot, is can I use sublimation blanks? So it's better actually not to use sublimation blanks when you're using UV DTF, because a sublimation blank that is a hard surface blank, like a cup, a tumbler, a mug, it's gonna be coated with a sublimation ready polymer that allows your sublimation ink to really stick to your cup and give it that longevity that is characteristic of sublimation designs. But because of that coating, the actual blank is a little bit slick. and it's really made just for sublimation. So if you're going to be using sublimation blanks, but you're gonna use UV DTF, you're gonna have trouble getting your sticker to really adhere at its optimal stickiness, and it's not gonna last as long as you want it to. So anytime people say they've had problems with UV DTF, my first question is always, did you use a sublimation blank? Because that actually hinders the outcome of your design. So it's better just to use a regular old tumbler or a regular old mug or a regular old glass can cup, not a sublimation coated one. You're gonna get your best results that way, and they're cheaper. So, okay, here we go. So we have our sticker. And just like a sticker, we're just gonna peel it. We're gonna ignore the fact that I have paint on my fingernails while we're doing it. The hardest part is peeling it, because if you're anything like me, you don't have any fingernails. So you just peel your backing away. It should come right off. You shouldn't have any issues. Your transfer sheet is now your trash. You can see we've got our sticker right here, ready to go. And I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and flat, exactly where I want it on the cup, and then I'm just gonna lay it down. That's really it. Now I'm gonna use my finger to make sure there's no air bubbles and press it in really good. You could use like a credit card or a squeegee for this if you really wanted to, but it's totally not necessary. UV DTF is pretty hard to mess up. It really likes to adhere to the surface, and it's very sticky. So the bigger problem that people usually have is they accidentally stick it down when they're not ready to. And let me tell you, once it's on, it's on. So now we're gonna peel away the backing layer. I'm just gonna create as flat of an angle as I possibly can. It's always better to pull away instead of pulling up. When you pull up, you just create more opportunities for it to tear. It's pretty hard to tear UV DTF, but if you're going to tear it, it's because you pulled straight up and created that harsh angle. So I'm kind of actually just wiggling it off here, trying to create that flat angle. It's pretty sticky, so you're gonna feel like you're pulling really hard. That's super normal and not something you should be worried about. It takes a good amount of pressure to peel it away. You're not gonna tear it. It's made to withstand this. So there we go. Backing all peeled away. And look at our cute little cup. I'll put a piece of paper in it so you can see it a little better here in just a second. But let's go ahead and make a second one really fast, because we're gonna make these for Hallie's grandparents. And we're gonna make one of these ones too. I'm gonna do one of the bigger ones, I think, on this. Oh, I don't know, these are really big. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, we'll do that. I almost was thinking I could use one of the big ones on this, but I think that's gonna be a little too challenging. So peeling away my transfer sheet there. And then we're just going to place it nice and flat, exactly where we want it, being mindful that once we stick it down, it's down. And then just using my thumb to get rid of any bubbles. I really take my time with this part. This is honestly the most critical step when you're applying UV DTF, just making sure that every piece of your design is really adhered. And especially when you have something that has a lot of little lines like I do here, it can be easy to like miss a spot. And then we're going to take our backing sheet or transfer sheet here and just peel away with that flat angle. You can see it's coming away perfectly, even though I'm applying a lot of pressure to get it to peel away. And that's because we're using that flat angle. And if you accidentally do rip up a piece, you can just lay it back down. It's just like a sticker. You shouldn't have issues with that. Even though I'm not really worried about tearing or peeling, I'm still paying attention to what I'm doing just to make sure. And now I've got it all peeled away. Look how cute that is. I love it. Okay, let me give you some shots of the end product and then we'll wrap this video up. Okay friends, so that was part 2 of our making custom UV DTF tumblers using my daughter's artwork. So I hope you loved this little series. I think it just shows you how versatile UV DTF can be and how you can really use it to make amazing custom gifts this holiday season. I hope you loved this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it, what questions you still have about UV DTF, maybe what you want to learn next. We're making videos here every week on the Design Bundles YouTube channel, and we are here to be your crafty guides as you go on your crafting journey. No matter where you are in your crafting journey, we want to be there to support you. So let us know what you thought. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we will see you back here next time. I know Hallie's grandparents are gonna love these, and I'm so excited to give it to them for Christmas. Happy crafting!